I'd like to do a brief review of Intellivision games to give you an idea of what that system was all about. Unfortunately, most Intellivision games had a very boring exterior. So even though many of the games were a lot more complex than Atari's, there was just the title on them and nothing else. As you can see, it's just blank. That was a standard Intellivision cartridge. However, luckily, some of the makers went beyond that. There was iMagic. Okay, let me I'm gonna redo this all over again. Okay. I'm gonna take out all the iMagic games and everything. Okay, so here I go. I'm taking them all out. Microsurgeon. Man, these are some pretty fucking awesome artwork. Two years. She spent 2 years working on that. It explains why video games of the past. Okay, sayonara. Just a quick thought about Intellivision is that Mattel did make a lot of games for the Atari 2600 under the name M Network. Here's a good example, Kool-Aid Man. If you can read it, it says 1983 General Foods Corporation. You know, at the time, these really can be considered to be, you know, really, you were cool if you had a cartridge like this, because, you know, where the Atari had, you know, regular cartridges like that. This was a really good design. There are more games, but I think that's listed under my sports section. You know, games such as M Network, baseball and football and what have you. But just to let you know that they made a lot of games, and by comparison, oops, how did this get here? Okay. There's Space Attack on M Network versus Royal Dealer. You see the case is pretty much the same thing here. And then on the Atari, this is attached. Another thing that was always fun for me to do is, speaking of Intellivision and what have you, is I like to compare games of different systems with each other. For example, this is Stampede on Atari 2600, which was very famous, versus Stampede on Intellivision. See if you can notice the design. This was the Atari 2600, and this was Intellivision. Pretty big jump, eh? So all across the board. Now here's there's Zaxxon for Intellivision, and there's Zaxxon 3D for the Sega Master System. Just to give you an idea. Some systems use the same design. Like here's Mario Brothers 2600 and 7800. You can see that they have the same exact design. So that's something to look out for. And then once in a while you'll find something that really gets revolutionary. Now here's Missile Command on Atari home computers. There's Missile Command on the Atari 5200. One of my favorites is comparing Space Invaders. Okay, so Space Invaders on Game Boy, Space Invaders PSX, the most innovative one was this one. Look at this, Space Invaders on the Atari 5200. The most famous one was this one. And this was the original one. And Telegames made their own versions of the same game. So not Telegames, but Telegames. I believe they're different than Telegames. Sorry about that. Okay, so just gives you an idea of what to look for. I just had my... oh look, they all have 3 different colors. I just had my... all the versions of Donkey Kong out, including Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. for Intellivision, but that's limited to my pictures because it was starting to rain, so I got screwed on that deal. Okay, so as I'm leaving here, I'm just going to end this. There's the infamous bug hunt from the Atari XE. Okay, so since I've got a little time left, here's one of the erotic games for the Atari 2600, so please stop watching if you're under 18 or if you're offended by this material. Okay. This was the most vulgar of all the games, right here. Well, there you have it. Sayonara.